Come and visit Angola. Explore, invest and relax with Angola Investment Group. In this video, we have a conversation with a young man who had a vision to return and to build several businesses in Angola after that he has studied in the United States of America and lived there for around 17 years. Join us as we talk with Wilson Ganga and learn about his journey.
In the north, and then I moved to Luanda. Came when I was like 6 months, and then I was here in Luanda until I was 6, and then my parents sent me to America to get a better education. Right? My own parents sponsored my school. I think at the time it was still war and all this stuff like this. I think every parent that had some type of condition was trying to push their kids out, right? Or to South Africa or whatever. My mom sent me to America, living with my aunt because my aunt was there on a bolsa, the Soningo. And then for me, I've always thought that I was a little bit more fortunate. Like as you grow up, you're like shit. Like I was always coming back. Like one time I was there for like 3 years, didn't come back, but after I started coming back every year. Or my parents went there, so you start seeing the country, you start seeing your cousins. I didn't really know anyone here. So you start feeling that you're a little bit more fortunate enough, right? You're more fortunate than the rest of the economy, right? So my whole goal was always to get into the business sector and bring some sort of value to the economy. So there in America, I played sports and American football and basketball. And American football, I had a football scholarship there, so it taught me a lot of discipline. Sports in general teaches you discipline. Teamwork, how to work with team, how to keep waking up and keep practicing. So after this, we went to college. I was playing college football there, and then I started my first business a little bit before college, which was like Ambitious Stars, which was like a bracelet company. It was just testing things out, and we did the brand there in America. We sold some here, we sold it there, and then after, I opened a brand called Transit Delivery with my college roommate, which is just like food delivery. And the whole goal was I remember I still have this business plan. I went to, one year I came back here, I showed it to my parents, I want to do this. I first did it there, and then...
Which one was that?
It's called Transit Delivery.
Yeah, the one like to Puka.
Yeah, I first did it there with the hopes of like 2 years I'll do this in Angola. I did it there, and then it worked in America with my college roommate. It was in Muncie, Indiana. Which taught me, I knew how the business worked. After, by force, I had to come back in Angola. So I came back to Angola, and then...
By force?
Yeah, by force. My goal was always to come back. My parents always thought, as soon as I started my business in America, they always wanted me to come back,
Yeah.
But they thought I didn't want to come back. I don't know why. So as soon as I started my business there, they were seeing that it was growing.
I think you was comfortable over there.
No, I was building, you're building, so like you already have your 2-3 year plan, so you're working on it. And then my parents kind of forced me to come back. Like I came back to visit my newborn niece, which I was like, Padre.
Yeah. And
then the day I was going to go back, my passport disappeared. But it was like my mom stole my passport. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It wasn't by force.
Stay here.
Yeah.
Stay here.
It was at that time it was very uncomfortable. But it's like you're uncomfortable, you're like shit. It's like now I'm in Luanda, what do I do? Because everyone here is just your family. You don't have any friends. So then I started going to my family business office there. Started making a business plan called like the Nelly Deliveries. Nelly's like my sister's name, and I was trying to no choice. I was trying to do this while I was trying to get a new passport. You know what I'm saying? I was getting the sad part is my business partners there. They're like, what the hell? Why don't you come back? They don't
How did you
understand.
react to that?
Oh, they're sad, but they know how real I am. I'm like, hey guys, I'm just handling this.
But what did you say? Did you say I lost my passport?
At that time, my passport just disappeared.
Yeah.
And then I just had to. I knew something was going on because no one was helping me. My family, which they had the conditions to help me treat a new passport, didn't. So if all the big stars now are Tyler, Davido, you know what I'm saying? And
in every way, you see Africa is popular.
It's popular. So once the culture is this big, naturally the business is gonna follow. You know, so because in America, people before didn't care about Africa. They get scared of Africa because of what was the image, what was on the media before, you know. Because even for me, I'm from Angola, but I think it's like lions and tigers. They have no idea, but this is what, and I'm thinking like but this is what Americans or Europeans wanted, because those guys are here taking our natural resources. They didn't want any competition. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And they didn't want us to wake up to it. You know, so it's like now Africa's open. Business is booming. Like I see now, it's everything produces in Angola. I've never seen a country this rich, from diamonds, oil, coal, rubber, lithium. You know what I'm saying?
Everything.
Then you go to any bio in Angola, you see a mango tree, you see a coconut tree. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And you see what happens? Like people, sometimes these Chinese people, they take things from here, they ship it to their country, and then we buy it back. Like we buy back our own product.
That's what happened.
Yeah, so I see the future is definitely Africa's natural resources and also agriculture, because we're growing. Angolas are growing. I don't know what that, but we're producing a lot of people, a lot of kids here.
True.
So soon, in the next 5 years, we're going to have 55, 60 million people. So, and these 60 million people need to eat. Just think about it. They need to eat. We have one of the best land for agri. There's not enough real entrepreneurs that are focused on agri. The government's giving so much cash on this, but they're giving cash to people that they get the cash and they just buy a car, a house, or whatever. They're not actually investing in the business, you know. But if they just invest like 3, 4, 5 years, they make money for the rest of their life.
But the government is giving a lot of cash in what way? As a loan? Or
they're giving loans.
Yes. Yeah, I heard about it.
Low interest loans for agri.
Just loans for
startups.
They're giving a lot. But they're giving to who? You understand, right?
Right.
So it's like I feel like I started backwards, but I got my name. It was good, right? And many people in the market, a lot of Angola or Africa is a lot about trust, right? So what I did is got my name, and a lot of people trust me now, right? So it's like I go to any bank and get money and start, right? Because they know I deliver. But I feel like in businesses like agri or mining, right? It needs more real Angolan entrepreneurs to focus on this. The same way I did tech, and a lot of people was influenced to do tech, and a lot of people did invest in tech, whatever, because they seen someone did it, which is good. I think if I also get into a different, like agri, and do it right, it will influence the next generation. Because our generation, I don't know much about agriculture, but I'm learning. Mm-hmm. But we need to know about agriculture. You know, we can't just keep buying food from India. Like we have our own, we have our own market that we can produce. But it's like if we don't have serious people doing it, we're doomed for the future.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not our parents' fault, because at their time, like they were in war. Angola's young, you know what I'm saying? So at that time where they should have been doing business, they had to go to war. They were afraid, and they didn't have the freedom, you know. And then we gained independence, and then we started fighting each other too. It took. So it's just, it's not our parents' fault, you know.
So it's a different situation.
It's a different situation, but it's now our generation. We need to fix it. You know, if we do have the education, the knowledge, you know, we need to implement, especially who hasn't really needs to step up. Yeah.
We were having this conversation that my name is Byron, by the way. Born in Jamaica, grew up in the States, came when I was 8 years old. Actually came to Florida because I was studying to be an airline pilot.
Nice.
Ended up being a firefighter for Miami-Dade County Fire Department, 25 years. Got into politics, and so it was a learning process all along the way. But then you began to see the needs, but you have limited access to business opportunities in the States because of the racism that existed. My brother had a similar story to yours. He was pushed into business by accident because he was working for a major bank, but he was also trying to build a church, and because of the conflicts, they fired him. So that led him to start a business on his own that's called Asset-Based Lending Consultancy. So now it's a multi-million-dollar business that he's running. But he saw a market niche that he could tap into, which is asset-based lending. And so he's made a niche for himself in that market. So you had the opportunity to go abroad to learn and to see how they do things in America and find out a way to incorporate that knowledge here. And Africa, we were talking about this, that it has no place to go but up, because Africa has been kept down for so long that there's so much need here that if you have the right business idea and business plan, you can see opportunities everywhere. As we were driving around, I can see so much potential. So for even those of us who are in the diaspora who's wanting, because that's also another thing that's manifesting, is more and more people in the diaspora is wanting to come home to Africa. So there's a need there also. So how do we incorporate people from the diaspora who's coming with resources, some of them, coming with knowledge, some of them, and wanting to be a part of the growth of Africa? Because we know Africa is the future. We talk about this all the time. You have the mineral resources that everyone else needs in the land that's been exploited. So now if you can find a way to take all the collective talents and be able to put it to use, then everyone can benefit from the locals who you would incorporate and employing, as well as growing a business for yourself that can help to provide income. So that's part of the things that we've been trying to do, is talk about these opportunities and how can we leverage that into businesses that can be help the locals, but also provide a way for people who want to come back home to Africa to be able to use the skills and assets that they've acquired abroad to help to build the Africa of the future. So hearing your story is inspiring, because as a young man, to be able, you started off with an entrepreneurial spirit, and now you've leveraged that into business opportunities that is now being productive. But if you can do it, then others can also replicate it. And what I like is the fact that you said something about trust. We were talking about how we have trust issues amongst each other. And so if you can overcome the trust issues, then you can tap into others and say, let's build this together. I can't do it by myself, but let's build it together.
100%.
So I like that in hearing your story. So I congratulate you as a young man to see you doing as well as you are. And it gives us hope that we can also build things that can benefit not just ourselves, but also the people of Africa.
I see government's trying to make partnership with Americans. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I think the Chinese, there's a lot of Chinese people coming here trying to find partnerships. You know, the Chinese are the best people because they risk. They put the money down. They risk. You know, while Americans they want to, but they still have a lot of compliance issues. You know, what I'm saying? America is like very well structured, but it's a lot of opportunity. But we need to do something because I'm just as scared that like these Americans, Chinese, or other ethnic groups
That they will do it.
Start taking up our
You should be
the best thing about like especially agri and natural resources, there's laws. Okay, the outside investor can invest, but after a while you have to give the shares back to the Angolan. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to. It's like it's this a big mine or a big farm can be owned by a Chinese guy. You know, after he gets his money back, he lowers his participation, and Angola has to be the majority shareholder. The law protects like you make your money, but after give back the land, you know, just to protect from what happened before from happening.
Neo-colonization.
Yeah. So but it's anyways. I'm here, guys. I'm in the market. I'm here every day trying to make my business grow. I'm looking for more opportunities.
That's good.
So whatever you need from me, I'm here. Yeah.
Now we don't see the growth of Africa. We also see the development of Angola. Because this Angola is not the same Angola it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's not the same 5 years ago. So we see the growth.
Yeah.
However, a lot of us in the diaspora are still afraid. Angola is not safe. Angola, if you put your money there, you will lose it. So, based on your experience, what can you answer our brothers and sisters who are in the US, in Europe, in the Pacific Islands? What's your answer to them?
Advice.
For me, one of the first things before this, to talk about risk, I love Angola. Okay, I've been to many different provinces, but me myself, if I'm out of Angola for 2 weeks, it makes me crazy. I only go out for 10 days, and it still makes me crazy because I love the beach. I love the sun. I love the people. I love the culture. I love the food. I love my buffet. I love my food. I love. So before we get into like the business, I love. From the family, my family's here. This is my country. I was born here. It's mine. You know what I'm saying? It's not like sometimes in America you feel like this is mine, my soil. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's my shit. It's different, you know. So then there comes the business part. It's what I did. I tried to do business here by myself. I don't know what the hell. I don't know the country. So I started Googling, LinkedIn. Like internet's free. It's open. You know what I'm saying? And then I met people that are just like me. You know what I'm saying? And they're older than me. I was a little bit more crazy. Let's go. But they were like more polished and older, education-wise. Like Wilson, calm. That you're going through. You're calm. And I needed this. You know what I'm saying? Because they polish you. And then so it just I put myself around with people. Naturally, growing up, I was like at that time I was like 22, 23. I've met people. All they want to do is drink, smoke, a woman. I could have easily just
went that direction.
I could have went that direction, like because I met people like this. You know what I'm saying? I still. It's not like they're my friend. I'm like, hey, you good? It's like this is not the person, the type of group people that I want to be around. I surrounded myself all people that were just like me. Every day we did the exact same thing, you know. And then I started joining different groups, like networking groups, that you're around business people. You know what I'm saying? And one business people introduced to another business person, introduced to another business person. We're all just. This is like the network effect. So I've always positioned myself with a group of people that were just like me. Like I said, for anyone that's like, oh, we're going to get stolen from people or shady, it's not. Angola has gotten way better. We don't have any of this problem anymore. But you need to put yourself around good people. Because even for me, I was in America. Like I went back to America like last year. The same people that used to do the same thing, they're still doing the same thing. I go back, I don't know, I'm so pissed off at their life, getting out of it. You know what I'm saying? They hated Trump, they hate Biden, you know. They just talk so much shit about they don't like America, they don't like taxes. They just
only complaints.
But refuse to do anything about it. Or change their circumstance.
But now look, the people that I grew up with there, like the people that were just like me, that I created a business with here. In America, my roommate, they're here. They left America. Americans. They left America to join me here in Angola. And they're like, what the fuck is this, Wilson?
They saw your success.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's what my words that I pitch, you know? But they were just like me. Like, we were the group that, okay, we could go out and party one day, once a month, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But we're always focused. Now they're here, you know what I'm saying? In Africa, they've never been there. They're here in Africa. Also, join forces, building, you know. So so to answer this, you need to be around good people. But this depends on you, you know. Because if you want to get around bad people, you will, you know what I'm saying? And so it's easy to filter. Over safe, I think Angola is fairly safe. Naturally, sometimes we see bothering things because the internet just these stupid portals just they need more clickbait, so they sometimes they'll put things that are very sad people. Sometimes things happen in Angola, you know what I'm saying? Okay, if someone stole from my house, but it's like, you know, people run to share this.
Yes.
Angola is safe, you know. And even I'm not a really political guy at all, but I have to give value when I see this. The new president has done his job, man. It's like now 50 or 100 countries in the world can come into Angola without visas. Go to any hotel here in the city, you won't find one room. You know what I'm saying? What does this mean? Yeah. Angola is booming. He did his job. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, you can't change everything in 24 hours.
Right.
Even 5 years is not much. But the things are changing. You know what I'm saying? Like, things are changing rapidly, so it's like, study, don't, and I know I see, especially a lot of people from outside, they follow a lot of revus. I don't know how you say revus. How do you say revus in English? Revu. The people that just talk crap about the government.
Yeah.
Revolting, this guy, you know what I'm saying? It's like, just stop this political shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they're outside, they don't want to hear. They just follow what one guy says on Twitter. They retweet.
Yeah.
Things are changing.
Right.
Unfortunately, even the president putting people in government, like this guy can be corrupt, but he fires right away. He's a very madman. You know what I'm saying? So it's like things are changing. So it's just instead of like putting salt, let's follow. We need to be patriotic. Like we need to be Angolans. Okay, if we have a leader, let's follow our leader. Let's see we see the change, but we can't keep just talking about the bad things. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to focus.
And I think we contribute to our own demise at times because we know that we've been misportrayed in the media. And even from living in the diaspora, all we see is negative things about Africa. And he's always told us that, Byron, before you make a decision, you got to come in with boots on the ground. You got to see for yourself.
Exactly.
You got to feel the environment. You got to sense the spirit of the people. So that's why we have traveled here. And now we can see with our own eyes. And Angola, as well as Africa, in America, you face market saturation. Whatever industry you want to get into, you have to it's saturated. But not only that, but biases against you as a black man. Because one of the things that I know about America, that you may get limited support from white folks. I live in Florida, so limited support from Hispanics. So if I don't get black people to support me, my business is not going to survive. But here, you have, number one, so much need. Number two, you have a youthful population. They're saying by the year 2050, the African population is projected to be over 2 billion people. Young, one of the youngest population, and they're hungry. So now you have a market. We were talking about Dr. Jeffrey Sachs, who was saying that if I was to invest investment advice, Africa would be where I would tell you to invest your money. Because within short order, Africa is going to be an economic superpower of the future. Because you have all the things going for you. You've got the resources within the ground, you've got a youthful population, and you have so much need. So you've got a good combination to where it can be taken advantage of. But once again, people are scared to make that leap.
Don't be scared. Because what's going to happen is it will get to a time we're going to have a lot of millionaires. So it's like, not to be like cocky, it's like, you can see in 20 years, I'm projected to be, I'm pushing from my level. You know what I'm saying? Don't be that person and be like, no, this guy, he's corrupt. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's happening now. You don't come back now, you know what I'm saying? You need to come and work and hustle now. If you
Come back now.
Now. If you don't do it now,
then the saturation is going to hit
15, 20 years.
You
know what I'm saying? I'm already saying I'm going to do mining. I'm already saying I'm going to do farming. So in 20 years, once we have the biggest farms and the biggest mining, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, oh, this guy got lucky. Like, don't do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, the time is now. This is why you guys are doing this. Like, which is right. Like, portraying it, pushing the agenda. You know what I'm saying? So it's
You said something very important at the beginning, as you were answering the question. You talked about love. You need to have love for your country first. And that's the main thing the diaspora lack. They don't love their own country.
Crazy.
There's no love. So we need to love our country. When you love your own country.
But I think it's also because they don't know it.
It's part of
They
the
don't know
legacy
it.
of slavery.
That's why they need to come and visit.
There's a movement saying, oh, you also listen to slavery, and we, so there's that ADOS movement. It's just, we gotta stop the foolishness, because this is the land of our ancestors. You mentioned it, and it's a spiritual experience for me just to come here. My first time in my life, being in Africa,
It's very nice.
and to be amongst a sea of people that look like me. We were joking and saying that when we travel places to Dubai, to Scotland, it's very seldom you see a black person. Usually when I was in meetings with politicians in Florida, I was the only black person in the room. But not to come here, and every once in a while we spot a white person, but to be amongst, it gives you a different sense of pride in your people. We're debt slaves over there. Most people over there are 2 paychecks away from poverty.
And this is what I'm trying to say. This is my country. I'm fine. I've only, since the last 10 years, been back to America 2 times. After I stayed there for 17 years. I was 17 years in America. And I went back 2 times the last 10 years. It's like, that just shows, and remember I told you, it's like I came by force. Only after I won the Best Entrepreneur Award in Angola, My mom went to get my trophy. She said, "Oh, son, I gotta tell you something. I stole your passport."
So actually, when you said that, I was thinking, no, not by force, but by fate.
Yeah.
It was destined for you to be here and doing what you're doing, but sometimes the path that we take to our destiny may not be exactly how we saw it.
Exactly.
But you being forced to do this got you into what you're doing now to help you to reach to the place of your
Yeah,
destiny.
your mom was destined to help.
So you need to thank your mom and say, Mama, that was one of the best things that you did for me.
Yeah,
Please take my
Destined to
passport.
help.
So,
Oh, nice. Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, anything else here? I love the discussion. I love this idea. It's good. People need to know. This come spend 10 days in Angola. It's good. The culture, the people, it's funny. Like people are, it's good, man. No, there's problems everywhere. These guys are not wrong. Let's go back to work, man. It's like, I feel good. Like on a Sunday, I'm with my family. We're at the beach and having a kuka. It's my country.
It's perfect. Yeah, of course. You
It's my country. You know what I'm saying?
same feeling I experienced.
I don't know if Iverson said something about our organization.
No. I think he said the message.
I sent the message. Yes. Like if you want, you can.
So we actually have an organization called Angolan Investment Group. We are from the Netherlands, but we were born here in Angola. So since a year, almost 2 years, we have this organization called Angolan Investment Group, where we're trying to help people to see the beauty of Angola, and that's our mission, to assist them in their journey back, to invest in Angola, to start businesses, and to get a life here, because we believe that Angola is the future. Africa in general, but we are Angola specifically. So we believe that there's a future here for anyone.
I don't think you ever seen this. I didn't think you see this. Right?
What's this? It's
What
Africa.
do you
okay.
see? What do you see?
Yeah, we are holding Africa.
Yeah.
And you represent us.
Not just Angola. Focus on Angola.
Africa.
We highlighted Angola, but Africa, and the whole goal is to turn Africa into like a Dubai. You know what I'm saying? So every day when I'm coming here so tired, I'm walking.
Yeah, we're talking about it.
So I'm walking in very tired sometimes. I'm stressed. I see this. I'm like, okay, let's go back to work.
Place to go.
Yeah.
Africa is the future.
Yeah.
That's very, very
Yes,
yeah.
and then we don't.
So I'm not just talking. I'm trying to.
You need to have vision.
Yes. That's the
When you
goal.
have vision, you have to visualize it. So you have to create a picture of it.
That's the goal.
That's how you
It
materialize.
helps you to align goals also. It's always a reminder of what is my short term, what is my long term goal. You know, that's one of the things we discussed, that even the Chinese, they plan for 100 years in advance. We plan for the next, year. You know, we're not visionaries in some instances, but that's why I like to see visionaries, because now you understand that I may not benefit from everything that I do, but my children who are coming up behind me, and I like to see for them. So.
I hope this video and the conversation with Wilson Ganga inspired you to visit Angola and to build the Angola of the future. Together we can. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and of course share the video. Thank you very much. Muito obrigado. Until the next time.